Hi, this is Larry, and thank you for joining me for an introduction to the AccuQuote job creation and quoting process.
I want to show you an actual job. So I'm going to click on the sample demo quote right here, and here is what a job looks like. So when you come to this screen, um, this is displaying a job that has been previously set up. This is the job header up here. Up here in the job header, you track the job name, the address, the divisions, the job status. Here's where you would update status. So you can see that. And all of these fields are updated or updatable by you in real time. Whether you can signify whether the job is whether you're named as basis of design on a job and whether it's a hot job, who it's assigned to, the basis of design for at the header level. The alternate ID is here, the bid date, who the engineer is, the general contractor, who the bidders are. You can have as many bidders as you want, and as you add bidders, you just are picking from a selection that we provide that you actually set up here in your contacts. So you can add and subtract bidders as you see fit. And then last but not least is the based on drawing date. Over here are your internal notes. This is actually a very powerful part of AccuQuote. This gives you the ability to, as your team is working on a job, they make notes in here. This is sort of a best practice. What we see is people put the date and then their initials and then the note. So you can see that this job on January 11th, we issued a 50% bid, and then through September 21st was when the best and final was required. So you can see that this gives you instantly everything about that job from a header standpoint, as well as all the internal notes. Down here is where you do your estimating or your quoting. So we give you the ability to create quote groups. You can create as many quote groups as you want. Really think of a quote group as a separate section of a quote or a bid. So I've created two quote groups, one for the cooling tower that I'm bidding and one for a boiler. You can see here we give you for the entire job the list price extended, the net, the sell, the freight, the base subtotal, the option, the profit, and the margin on that job. We update this in real time, and it's at the top of the estimating grid and at the bottom here. We also give you that same information by quote group. So if you want to know the profit on this cooling tower, you just have to look here. And if you want to know the profit on the boiler, you just look here. So in this grid, we have the type of offering. So we have equipment, so we have includes, we have options, we have deducts, we have descriptions that you can update right here. All of this information, by the way, came from a template. One of the great things about AccuQuote is that you create templates for things that you sell over and over and over again. You create the template once, and then you use that template to recreate this data. So it makes quoting very quick and very accurate. Here you can see where I have a quantity, I have my list price, my list extended. You give us a buy multiplier, we'll give you the net. You give us a markup or a margin, and we'll give you the sell. You give us the weight and a freight multiplier, we'll give you the freight charge. Alignment is a field where you can add or subtract money to align. Next up is the subtotal. So the subtotal is your total of your alignment, your freight, and your sell. And last but not least are your options. So we group all your options separately. So you can see I have two options down here, and here's the money or the value associated with those options. Here's the exact same thing for this boiler. One thing I wanted to show you was we give you a full suite of editing tools. So right here you can see where I highlighted. Please note this does not include. You have the ability when you're creating a quote to make it look however you want. You can highlight things, you can add bullets, you can bold. All of this content completely customizable by you. So this is where you do your estimating. And I want to jump over here and show you a quote. So I created this quote a couple of minutes ago. Here is where you can print the proposal. You can also save proposal notes right here. Here is where you can add a specific quote for a specific bidder. And here is where if you click on this button, AccuQuote will automatically generate quotes for every bidder that you've specified. So it makes it very quick if you're doing quotes by bidder. to just let AccuQuote do the work for you. I'm going to print the proposal. We give you 4 pricing levels. I'm just going to pick lump and group. I'm going to print this proposal. And here it comes. So I'm going to click on this Adobe PDF, and here you see. So it's Drew Mechanical is my bidder. Here's my job number. Here's my logo. This would be your logo. We have multiple formats for these quotes, so we can format them however you want. Here is the first quote group. Here's my cooling tower. Here's my description. I just magnified that a little bit, make it easier to see. Here's my description. Here's my net price for the cooling tower. Here are my options, my adder and my deduct. And then down here is my boiler. And then you can see here's that line that I want to make sure my bidder sees. Here's the total, the net price for the boiler. Here are the options, the 4 adders I have on this particular boiler, the total price, and then here's all my terms and conditions. Your terms and conditions are completely customizable by you. It's very Microsoft Word-like. And then down here I have 2 signature lines, one for the estimator and one for the salesperson.
Thanks for joining me today. And if you have any questions, you can reach me at larry@accuquote.direct. That's Larry@accuquote.direct. And thanks again.